Welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be a longer form video. The idea behind this is I wanted to give a commentary over a longer period of gameplay as opposed to just giving you the gameplay and having you interpret from what's going on. I kind of want to give you my thought process on it. So both teams are pretty evenly matched, both 99 ratings on offense, defense, and overall. He has a higher win percentage over the career, except the win percentage from this division is 64%. So I didn't really get a chance to look into the other stuff. Not too concerned. Normally I pause it after winning the tip, but also again not trying to get that easy bucket. Just wanted to set up the settings. I went ahead and put ice defense because they went in and changed some of the settings, at least for past gen. Got some of the issues that I had resolved. Ice does not, however, work. The situations that I did encounter, I didn't really see it working. I'll try and keep an eye out for it in the replay right now, but I really don't think ice worked. So just going for the tip. And as they start bring the ball up the court, I start looking to set up the defensive settings that I can't really do. But he ended up beating me on the boards quite a bit. Shaq did a lot of damage. I tried to double as much as I could Shaq, but that big fella, he's too strong in the paint. So you're going to see a lot of Shaq dominating, but very, very exciting game towards the end. So here we go, fixing those quick settings, limit transition. His defense played extremely well, really tight on my forwards and the front court. So just trying to set up the final tweaks on the settings. What I'm really trying to go for is crash the boards and play conservative. I don't like giving up little tic-tac fouls. So now I'm going to go set up the freelance, and I'm going for Jazz freelance. The main reason is that they actually implemented this next phase to this particular freelance, and I'll talk about that in another video. But try to run one of the actions of the Jazz freelance. Didn't work. I just tried to improvise a little bit. Got that switch. Try to get Duncan in the paint, but nothing doing. I also wanted to talk about another another concept that I was looking at. So I wanted to cover this in a quick tip, and I may do it as a separate video. But in the lineups, you can see Tim Duncan is playing the power forward, and Robert Horry is playing the center. The reason why is because offensively, Tim Duncan would have a better mismatch with Karl Malone, and defensively, even though Shaq would have a mismatch against Robert Horry, what I can do is try and double team in the post and try to make try to cover up the weakness on defense and still have that mismatch on offense whenever we're in transition. So here comes that first wrinkle, excuse me, and then that goes into a pick and roll. Get a good pass into Duncan, but I should have kicked it out to Bowen. Excuse me, feeling a little bit sick. The transition defense was bad. The interior defense was pretty bad, but I think we're okay. And normally I'd be going with the Princeton, but I've been trying to go through some actions for the Jazz. Try to hit the cutter here. He helps out on the cutter. Give it out to Horry. So I'm trying to keep the big fella from helping in the paint. One thing that I've been doing here, so that was just lucky. I have the defender forcing to the middle, so I just got lucky with that call. But one thing that I've been also trying to do on defense, let me go ahead and do a little quick replay. This is going to be its own separate video. Right now I'm user assisting with Duncan. What I would do would be to take Tony Parker and then user rotate with Tony Parker to cover up Duncan's man. So it's going to be basically a triple switch, but I'll cover that in another video. I'll try and cover it in another video, but and I'm also going to try not to do too many replays, but I'm really trying to focus on the Jazz freelance. I've been running a lot of Princeton, and I've been having a lot of success with it, but with a recent update that they did, it made it It fixed one of the issues that I've had since I started playing 23. So, and actually possibly in 22 as well. But you can see that same action right there. I rotated over Duncan and then immediately rotated over Ginobili before he even had a time to react. So I was able to force the turnover. Didn't trigger the set as quickly as I would have liked, so I went to a pick and roll, and it did not go up with the pump fake like I wanted. It just didn't fake at all, and he ended up just driving out of bounds. So I'm trying to go with a little bit of help rotation. Fortunately, he wasn't a good three-point shooter. I mean, the player he passed it to wasn't a good three-point shooter, but it's still a risk. It's still a risk, but it's a risk I'm willing to take since Shaq is doing so well. Get a lucky deflection here. He's really pushing the pressure, trying to force it to Shaq, and I got in quite a bit of turnovers, bad shot attempts. So the lead is now 9. So I've been having a little bit of a tough time. I know I'm going to get a screen with Ginobili right here, so I'm waiting for that screen to happen. Here it comes. I lead him to the inside. I don't even remember each of the plays. I'm just going off of what I see from the set and my experience with the set. So I'll see it and I'll kind of know what my reaction is going to be. I think I even have it on Crash the Boards, and I'm still having a tough time with him. So what that means is I'm going to try to user control Duncan a lot more. Like I said at the beginning, if Ori is mismatched, I can kind of help a little bit to kind of take away that mismatch on defense, and then have still have that mismatch on offense. So here I go with Duncan. I'm able to preserve that mismatch, but still he's able to play some good defense, lock up both of the post spins. Very unfortunate. One thing that I've been trying to do a lot more lately is to switch up the defensive coverages. So I'll throw in a 2-3, throw in a 3-2, go to man, and I'll constantly be changing it. If it's a man defense, sometimes I'll trap just to break the rhythm. Once he figures out that I'm trapping and he's able to get the matchup that he wants, I'll jump to man coverage, and by that point there's not too much time in the clock, so the ball's already kind of slowed down a little bit, and it makes it a little bit easier to contend. That, or I'll go man, and then at the very end of the shot clock, then I'll start going to trapping. Right here, I'm going with that action from the Jazz. I end up making 2 good passes, but I couldn't do anything. Got a lucky rebound and made a good shot, and that was a relief because I've been having a hard time scoring. He got a little greedy, but knocks down the shot. Credit to him, hit a good shot. So here I go. I'm still just trying to go with the Jazz. I know that this goes into a pick and roll, and just try to go one pass, but obviously Duncan can't shoot. You can see that the offense is really struggling right now. I'm not comfortable with the Jazz, and Ori does not get out of the paint. I saw it happening. One thing that I'll do is if a player is in the paint, I'll register it in my head and I'll kind of count. So it's very rare that I get caught with a offensive 3 seconds. I really was expecting him to get out of the paint, and normally I'll call a timeout if I feel like they've been in the paint too long. But there's a lot of times where the computer just does not want to get out of the paint, and I don't know what it is. So he kind of forced it. I changed it up and went with the trap, and he was not ready for it, and it made it a little bit easy. Right there, I just went with the pump fake. Pump fake is extremely good in close. It's too good in my opinion. I think what they need to do is nerf it a little bit. So I'm still on the trap, and I try, anytime somebody drives into the paint, what I try to do is not contest it directly. I try to back it up and basically go straight up and down. If if you're not too sure what I mean by that, I can kind of clarify it in another video. But I basically try not to foul. If somebody shoots a contested layup, then I'm gonna live with it. So the main priority is still gonna be well, since Shaq is not on the court. Next priority is Kobe. So I got Bowen on Kobe, but I still want to make sure that I can give him a little bit of support. But he realizes that without Shaq, he needs some help. So he went ahead and put Shaq back in the lineup. No, I'm wrong. But he ain't going to stay out of the lineup for long because I'm starting to catch back up. Again, try not to foul, get a good contest, and I'm able to get the ball back. Very good contest right here. I wanted Bruce to go straight back up, but you know, I'll live with that. I feel like it was a good drive. I was not expecting the Freelance to do what it was doing, so I see this. I try to curl it to the inside. I'm not liking how this is going. I think it gets kind of stagnant. Try to go pick and roll. Ends up calling the wrong person. Turn that into a fade, and he backs off a little bit. So made something happen. If it's Ori, I try to always go with a fade. If it's Duncan, I prefer to roll into the basket. Again, if anything that I'm saying is not clear, go ahead and leave me a comment, and I can either clarify or make a video on it. Wasn't too good of a three-point shooter. You know, you have to kind of know the players that you can't help off of. With the Lakers, it's going to be Kobe, obviously, Shaq. Those are the ones you're going to have to give the main attention to. I do want to do a replay on that particular play, so let me run it back. So with the Jazz Freelance, I know he's going to get a screen and he's got to cut to the basket. His defender helps, so that immediately breaks the action. So I call him to cut. He has no choice but to help out because he was out of position, and then Ori is just going to back up. So I was able to just make something happen even though the play was broken. He helped. I got the guy to cut and just made something happen. Even though I'm trying to play conservative, even though I'm trying not to block it, sometimes they just do that, and it gets annoying, but that's just 2K. You live with that. Been losing the entire game. My offense started pretty stagnant. Shaq was just dominating, but slowly I'm chipping away at it. I'm really not liking how this is going. I wanted to penetrate with Parker, couldn't. Here goes that action with the Jazz. I'm able to get that cut off of that screen. Nice clean gameplay. You can see I switched to 2-3 right here, so I'm trying to catch him off guard with the zone. Anytime you're running 2-3, you got to really move the players around. Don't let them feel comfortable. Don't let them anticipate where you think the zone defenders are going to go. And then nobody picks up Bryant, so can't do nothing with that. Here comes that same action. Able to get the ball in there, and I do not know if he's a good shooter, so I'm not going to risk it. And then a poor contested shot right there, so really poor possession on my play. But you can see Shaq is back on the court, so he's going to immediately go to Shaq. Got lucky, or a little bit of karma, because the exact same thing happened to me. So, I'm just gonna take that. So I see that the shot clock is off. So I'm just gonna try to isolate, maybe call a pick and roll. But I know I'm trying to eat up the clock a little bit first before I go into the basket. He helps out with the big man, and I just throw a little runner by the other big, and here I'm just trying not to foul, stay in his face, and that's half. Only down 2, considering I was almost down. I mean, I was down, I think, double digits or almost double digits. So slowly chipping away at it, but really got to focus on Shaq. Kobe really hasn't been a threat, but let me know if this style of gameplay is okay if you like the narration. If I've been doing a little bit too much, you see that on the inbounds, I passed it up to Shaq. His team wasn't playing half court; they were kind of pressing. Sorry, I passed it up to Duncan. They were pressing, so I knew that it was going to be 2-on-2, and I could put a little bit more pressure on them. Good shot. Yeah, you can live with that. Same thing as before. Trying to put the pressure, knowing that I have that mismatch there, but took an ugly shot. That's my fault. A lot of this was me playing really poorly.
And it's Parker with the ball, bringing it up with the Spurs, trailing by 2.
Again, pump fake is broken because really you could just pump fake as long as you have that clock in your head. And honestly, there's times I've gone over the 3 seconds. There's times I've shot it after like 5 seconds. And if you get a really good feel for how long you can be in the paint, and you feel like you've been in there a little bit too long, then just call a timeout, bring it back out. There's no harm to that. So Shaq is playing up and aggressive. What that does is that, well, I didn't feel like that was long enough. Honestly, I felt like I was barely in there. But yeah, if you have a good sense, then you can stay in there quite a while. So 4-point game. Yeah, they're pressing right now, and so I'm trying to keep the offensive pressure. But yeah, just good contest. Make them make the shot.
Parker left side. Out to the right wing.
Nothing doing it, so I'm going to go run the set. I know I'm going to get this screen right here. He's going to cut to the basket, but I think Shaq helps out a little bit here. Shaq was a pain. So I know I'm having a hard time helping without the rest of the defense rotating, so I went ahead and trapped, and I'm here to be in a position to help when Ginobili goes to assist, but Ginobili never goes to close out. Same thing as before. I keep putting pressure on Shaq. I know I'm forcing Shaq to help. I feel like I got the mismatch with Karl Malone. If Shaq don't help, then I take him one-on-one. If Shaq does help, I kick it out to my three-point shooter. And then he does the same thing on reverse. Duncan ain't there to help in time. So, and honestly, like I said, I wanted to talk about this particular concept because I've actually been watching this actual series, the 05 Lakers and Spurs. And in the series, Ori was guarding Shaq and Duncan was guarding Malone. So it's kind of funny how it ended up. But part of the reason why I wanted to do this was because in real life they did do that, and it kind of made me wonder. But it's because whenever Duncan and Shaq were guarding each other, both were kind of neutralizing each other. So the idea was, when you have the mismatch on defense, you can kind of make up for it. But if you get that switch, then you can have that mismatch on offense.
Spurs working the ball around now to the paint.
Right there, I went for one of the. I tried to draw the foul, so it's pretty simple. You just hold the shot button, and there's a good chance that even if they time it correctly, like he did, I still got the foul. So it was a little cheeky play. 6-point game, so it's starting to slip away from me a little bit, but just gonna stick with the game plan. Try to get the ball out of Shaq's hands. Get a lucky steal right there. All right, gonna run the set. He ends up helping out. I end up going for a back cut by Ori. I think I had a mismatch on that, and that's the reason why I had him back cut. I think he was being guarded by small forward or shooting guard or something like that. So saw the mismatch, got him to backdoor cut. While Shaq was guarding me, the big fella was out of the paint. I knew that was going to be kind of an easy layup. All right, like I said, let me know if y'all feel like I'm talking too much or if the information isn't too useful. But anyways, so trying to help out, making sure that Duncan stays in the paint. So we got two people on Shaq, Ori and Duncan. I actually put in Mohammed in for a bit just to give him a little bit of a breath. Kick it out, but I realize that that's Duncan, so I go with another pick and roll. And I'm just trying to get an in-close shot and get doubled. Bad possession. So down 6 again.
Duncan's got 6.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Spurs trail by 4. To the wing on the left. Back to Parker.
So I'm trying to do something. I'm not liking how the set's going. I see Ginobili coming around for a screen, so I'm going to try to lead him to the inside. Doesn't work, so I try to go with a different play. End up going pick and roll. I see he's got position, so I immediately go back into him. Nice layup.
12 points for him.
And we talk about the importance of
So I'm just trying not to foul, and he almost knocks that down. So only 2-point game, 5 minutes left in the quarter, plenty of time. So I think I'm still in man coverage. Got Duncan in the paint, which is what my goal is. And I think he's got Shaq out for a bit. So maybe we'll just contest the shot, play base defense. He hasn't really been a threat without Shaq. I was able to take care of business, but this particular action, it goes with the pick and pop. So just basic pick and pop action. Poor shot on my part, but good look at the basket. Same thing as I talked about before. 2K, you know, I'm trying to play conservative, trying not to be physical and foul, but sometimes that's what 2K gives you.
San Antonio trailing here.
So obviously I switched to the Princeton because I'm trying to win now. So for this, I know my sets. So here I'm looking for Duncan. Not open, so what I'm going to do is probably try to curl Bo into the basket. No, back to Duncan. Duncan curls back into the basket and gets a very, very good layup. But he's hot right now, so so I had him off of a down screen coming into the basket. So nice clean look. Tie game. They call a timeout. So here comes Shaq. Diesel's back in, and that's obviously going to be my main concern. Kobe hasn't really been doing anything, so try to help off of him. Worried about the guy in the corner. Just try not to foul. I close out. Oh, I got lucky on that. I got bailed out by a bad shot. So I'm staying in the Princeton. It's not going into the action, so I'm going to try to get it set up. I make a pass. That's usually a way to activate the sets. I got 2 guards cutting to the basket. Not open, unfortunately. Usually one of those 2 guards is open, so very well defended. And I just get beat. I just get beat like crazy. It's embarrassing. Back to the 2-point game. 2 swings because he's pressing. What that does is that gets the point guard to cut to the basket, and he barely gets a hand on that basketball. I almost had that layup to the basket, but doesn't matter. Get the ball back. I think I pull that same play again in a bit, and it ends up working. So trying to isolate, doesn't work. Pick and fade. Bad pass, and luckily I get the ball back, so I'm going to call a quick ATO. It's going to be L1. Ginobili, Duncan, easy dunk. Nice. Let's see that one more time. So the play is going to be quick base 1-3. Ginobili comes off of a screen, screens the screener. Duncan, free dunk at the basket. Beautiful. Yeah, ATOs are extremely useful. I think we underutilize how good they are, or underappreciate how good they are. But underappreciating how good Shaq is. Just bullies his way to the basket. Very realistic, actually. So here it goes. He's pressing it. So I'm going to go the 2 passes away. That gets that down ball screen. But unfortunately unopened. So pass it here. I'm not going to get the cut. Didn't cooperate it. Go to the middle. That automatically triggers Ginobili to cut. Easy layup. So I'm over here winning with beautiful basketball. He's just bullying, putting Shaq, bumping Shaq's big ass to the basket. Easy offense. Not as creative, but what can you do? What can you do?
Outside Fox.
I knew I was off, so I tried to really contest, but because I'm contesting, dunking it in the paint, he's able to get the layup. So 2-point game again. Fumbles the ball. I pass it back to Ori. Fumbles it again. Here comes. I have both of those guys cutting to the basket. Like I said earlier, it's one of those guys is usually open, so he tries to help out. As he backs up, Ori, who's a good shooter, is able to knock it down. I saw that pass coming a mile away.
And now the fast break, Ginobili with the ball.
And he saw that pass coming. So traded steals. We still in a good position.
Kobe. Here's Malone.
And there's the pump fake working for him, but I'm able to get back up there and contest it. So defense is coming in. Tie ball game. 1 minute left to go. So still in the Princeton. Still trying to run the same sets. Pass to the corner. Triggers Ginobili to cut. Doesn't work. So I prefer to go to the middle after I try the first set. Now to the corner. Ginobili cuts. And I'm able to get a good layup.
You just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear. He knew what they needed.
So I'll go for the trap just to break the momentum. I know that Shaq is screening, so the trap is able to try to get the ball out of his hands.
Back to Malone.
Got to get a good contest here because I can't let him get an easy 3.
Rebound by the Spurs.
Now I got 2-for-1 possession. I should put the pressure on here, but I'm really trying to lock it in. I want to get a really good attempt so I can seal the game. I know that he's going to get a cut. Shaq is going to back off. This one, Shaq is going to back off as well. Fortunately, he doesn't.
7-foot shot.
And I get bailed off with the foul, and I just get bailed out right there. I'm able to knock down the 2 free throws, even though I usually do poor at free throws. Even though Duncan is not historically good free throw, I'm still able to ice the game. So now it's a 4-point game. Gonna go do the same thing that I did in the last game. Make sure that I foul, so I can prevent him from getting a 3 off, and play the free throw game. I also was going to put my free throw personnel in, but I decided to put the defense personnel because I really just want to make sure he doesn't get a 3 off.
15 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And then from there, I'm going to go with the foul, just keep him from being able to score a 3. And now I'm just playing the free throw game. And that's going to be the end of the game. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
9 seconds left in the fourth. Kobe can't hit.
And he's been a force on the glass all game long.
It's because he's reading where the shots are going and getting to the right position. Just outworking everyone early on the glass.
And the miss. And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win.